Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we'll be doing an Insta fact check interview with our Insta hero right here, Abah. So let's begin with the first question, Rahana.
Alright, so my first question is, tell me about yourself.
Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Humamuddin bin Abu Sama. I'm from Temerloh, Pahang. I started joining Mara in 2002 up until today, and I'm their English teacher here.
Alright, so my next question is, why do you like your students to call you Abah? And how do you think that term of endearment is suitable with your role as a teacher?
Well, I don't mind if you call me Abah because we can create a closer bond,
True.
a bonding between me and the students. So if they call me Abah, I think I can give them more, not just simply teach the students. I can assist them, I can help them in many ways, maybe giving advice. And I'm so happy when most of the students here call me Abah. I'm so blessed.
So the third question is, did your parents put priority in academic achievement by rewarding your accomplishment or punishing your misbehavior?
Okay, yes, my parents, they really put a high priority in my academic achievement, but I haven't received any punishment if I was not doing well in my education, in my academic field, and they haven't reward me with any kind of materialistic reward yet. They just simply give some compliment by saying good words. But since my dad was a headmaster, so he did stress on the academic achievement. So I have nowhere to run.
Okay, so do you consider yourself a better student if there is supervision from your teachers, or you are better learning on your own?
Okay. Supervision is very important because we cannot just simply learn things on our own.
True.
We need to discuss with other people. We need to talk with other people. We need to ask opinion, and we need to have an interaction between us and other people to make sure that what we learn, what we know from the book, or what we listen from the radio, or we watch from the YouTube is let's say beneficial, and we don't misinterpret any of those material that we read or we learn.
And why do you start as an educator?
Well, my dad was a headmaster and my mom was a teacher, so you tell me why. I admired both of them, and I have witnessed how my dad worked so hard just to make sure that his school went well, and I admire my mom teaching Arabic language to her students, and I think that's why I decided to become one of the teacher when I grow up.
I see. Okay, that's interesting so far. Alright, so the fifth question is, did the friends with who you grow up with has the same passion in education as you are?
Well, talking about the past, okay, in the past we didn't have much option. Okay, we didn't have much option in job profession. In my kampung, becoming a teacher is one of the most popular career, and second thing would be being a lawyer.
Okay.
So my target is to become a lawyer when I finish my SPM, but something happened and my dad wouldn't agree for me to become a lawyer, and he wanted me to try to be just like him. So I think that is why.
I see.
And my friend as well. Most of my friends are teacher.
Alright. And how they how they have influenced you to grow up to be an educator?
Well, since like I told you before, we haven't got any, we haven't got many choices at that moment. So we did admire a teaching job at that time,
I see.
because that was the closest career to us at that moment. So everybody had set their ambition to be a teacher instead of becoming something else.
Okay. Got it. And the next question is, who is your greatest role model that makes you want to study at Yarmouk University in Herbert, Jordan?
Okay, my dad,
Oh.
because he studied in Egypt, and he always talk about his experience in Egypt, and he bought us a map and atlas, and he made a bookmark on the Middle East map, and he would love to tell us the story about how he had fun in Egypt learning Arabic language and so on. So I think he's my the biggest role model, and he always encouraged me to further my study abroad.
Does your sibling, is it you're the only one who?
No, my brother was with me in Jordan.
Oh.
My sister went to Jordan as well, and the youngest one, she's the only one who is not a teacher in our family, so she went to New Zealand taking accounting.
Wow.
So we didn't get the opportunity to ask you. What did you study in Yarmouk?
Oh, luckily I got an offer from Yayasan Pahang. I went for they called me for an interview. After 2 weeks, I received an offer letter for me to continue my study in Jordan for Arabic language and English language. But at that time, I had already set my mind not to further my Arabic study anymore, because I also got an offer from UIA, Islamic International Islamic University, and I got an offer to continue my study in law. So in my mind, okay, I will go to KL and gonna buy one Honda Raider at that moment, and I will do some lepak thing at Komplek Daya Bumi and form one rock band. But unfortunately, my dad found out that I got the offer from Yayasan Pahang, so he encouraged me to go to Jordan, and he advised me it's better for me to go to Jordan compared to continue in law study while holding a parang. So
Yeah,
okay.
Asian parent.
Okay.
So let's move on to the
Seventh.
seventh question. So how do you adapt in Malaysia after living in Jordan for quite some time?
Well, I don't feel any problem.
Culture shock.
No. The only thing that I had when the first time I reached Jordan was the problem in the difficulty in communication.
True.
Okay, but since I lived with two of my Arab friends for 4.5 years,
Oh.
so I don't feel any strange thing. I don't feel any difficult time living in Jordan with my friend. And when I came back to Malaysia, it's just like coming back to your kampong. So there's no big deal for me. So I think I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, because I can adapt both living in Jordan and living back to my kampong.
So studying in Jordan, how do you describe your level of mastery in Arabic language before and after you studied in Jordan?
Well, I learned Arabic language for 5 years in secondary school. I thought I'm one of the best students. The first day I stepped my foot on Jordan, I don't, I did not understand even a word what the uh, what the what they are saying. They were saying at that moment. So mostly I just sat on the bench and keep on looking at people moving in front of me and listening to their strange words, and I found out that why I didn't learn these words at school. So it was hard for me, but after 4.5 years, and I live with my Arab friends, so I think I learned a lot Arabic language.
So how do you rate it?
Well, I think before is 0. The day the day I left Jordan, I think I am 8, 8 out of 10.
Okay, moving.
Okay. The next question is, at what age do you start to learn Arabic?
When I was in Form 1,
From when?
my dad encouraged me to
To go into
to
Arabic
go
class.
to go to his school while holding parang as well.
Where is your school, by the way?
In Temerloh. It was Sekolah Menengah Agama Al Khairiyah.
I see. Alright, so and which stage in your life that you started to think that learning Arabic is very important in your life?
Okay, the moment my dad
Dad
told
again.
me the moment my dad told me you better go to Jordan, I'm telling you, so I have to reset my mind instead of going to KL and riding a motorbike, spending some time at Complex Daya Bumi and forming a rock band. So I have to face the new the new norm, face the new life in my life, So then I started to be a bit serious in studying Arabic language.
So Abu, does the difference learning Arab in Malaysia is very different when you learn
Yes, a
Arab?
lot. Yeah.
In what term that
Okay,
is different?
if you want to master the language, you need to communicate.
Yeah.
But if you just simply read it from the book, it won't help you a lot.
True.
You need to communicate. Luckily, I stayed with my Arab friends, so I had to speak Arabic almost all the time.
True.
Even though for my first 4 months there, I use a lot of sign languages, and it's hard for me to ask the shopkeeper about the can opener. I don't know what can opener in Arabic is, so you have to do the hand sign. But luckily, I know English. I can speak English, so English helps me a lot.
Alright. So the next question is, what are some other things that you do in order to be able to be understood by the local Jordanian?
Yeah, like I
Like,
told
yeah,
you,
yeah,
the
yeah.
sign
Yeah,
language.
the sign language.
Sometimes I need to write down. I need to draw things. And using English as well.
Also, the people there also, have the
They
basic
respected
English.
us because they know that we cannot speak Arabic.
Oh,
Okay,
so like they also have the basic English to communicate
yeah,
with you
they
lah?
do have. Luckily, Jordan is, even though it was a poor country, but most people, most Jordanian are educated.
Yeah, they understood
proficient. Yeah, they
English,
understood English.
Okay. That's,
But if you go to Morocco, they hardly use English. They use French. French, if I'm not mistaken. All right.
interesting. Next.
Okay, so the next question is, how do you manage your time and responsibilities in the classroom and your role related to photography and media?
Okay, all right. So let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So we do need to have a priority in our life. So we need to divide them wisely. All right. So classroom is my priority because from classroom I can get salary, I can get money for me to spend for my family, for me myself, and for my hobby as well. So we need to divide time wisely. You know, you have to set a priority. You have to do what you should do first, and then if you do have your ample time, you do have your free time, then you go for your hobbies and for your interests. So you cannot just simply set on one thing without considering the other thing, because we need a work and life balance. So you set your priority first, and then you set your interests, your hobbies second.
I see.
So, when talking about photography and media, in terms of editing and editing skills, do you think if there is an age limit in learning skills related to photography and media production?
No, there's no age limit. There's no age limit, because we are talking about the creativity, and creativity is a gift. So you cannot say that, okay, we only need the creativity from 40-year-old man. No, that is wrong, because creativity is very universal. Anybody can share their creativity, and there's no age limit for that one. We cannot stop people from producing, from sharing, from contributing. If we do believe that in everything needs an age limit, so I don't think that we will accept our ex-Prime Minister Tun Mahathir to be selected as
Again.
again as a Prime Minister.
I see. So, talking about your photography skills, how would you able to acquire the skills in photography and media production?
Well, when I was in Jordan, I met Muhammad. He owns a studio, so he taught me a lot about photography. Sometimes he just simply gave me his camera for me to do some practice in shooting. And at that time, we don't have any digital gadgets, so all we need to do is to shoot, and then we have to develop the film. Then we will see the result. So it takes a lot of effort to, to produce good photos at that moment. And he taught me a lot. And I read from magazine as well. And nowadays, I'm still learning, adapting some new skills from YouTube, from internet.
So, does the person named Muhammad is one of your role model in photography?
Yeah, one of the role model in photography, and I did have some professional photographer that I followed in the magazine at that time.
So, does your interest in photographing already started before you go into Jordan, or during the moment you step in Jordan?
Yeah, my late uncle, he owned one Canon AE1 program SLR camera. So he loved to take photos. I love to see his photos, but unfortunately, he was killed in road accident. So he left me with that camera, and from that moment, I started to, get serious in photography. I took picture without knowing how, and luckily, fortunately, after 2 years of his living, after he left us, I got a chance to go to Jordan, and I met Muhammad. So in Jordan, I really learned how to take photos.
Okay, so is it through observing and learning from other technicians, or learning the skills on your own through platforms such as YouTube?
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah, like I said before, we cannot just simply read alone. We need to ask someone opinion. We need to ask someone's advice, just to make sure that we
Are in
have
the right track.
we are on the right direction. Very true. It will prevent us from becoming the shop sendiri kind of thing. Seriously.
Alright, so we already come to our last question.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, how do you feel if one of your clients or audiences gives negative feedback about your work?
I don't mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, negative feedbacks are good because it gives us maybe some wake up call.
Yeah, self-improvement.
Yeah, self improvement. Yeah, so we can improve from time to time. If we keep on giving compliment to people, okay, I don't think that
Is it good?
it's a good way. It's a good practice. We need to be honest. We need to tell them what they're doing is not that good, and we suggest them how to improve. So I don't mind if you want to. If people give negative comments on my work or my teaching, it's okay. I will consider it as a bless from other people. So I'm so happy to have a negative critics or negative comments.
Alright, so regarding the first question, how do you manage public criticism and scrutiny about your work?
Well, you know, human feeling do. Sometimes it really hurts us, right? But from time to time, we have to learn how to adapt this kind of situation, right? You cannot just simply gone mad, and you just cannot just simply,
Think that we're always right.
yeah, that's the major thing. So by having those negative comments, I think it helps me a lot to become a better person.
True.
So you don't have to be so angry if someone commenting on you or criticize you. We don't know. Maybe that is how people look at us. So it's good.
Yeah.
Or else the shock sendiri thing will come to you and people will start to call you poyo and so on and so forth. And I don't think that we love when people label us with that kind of call. Right. So can I ask you a question? I have 15 questions. Mostly about your future.
Kena ni balik.
Okay,
Kita record.
okay, fine. That will be in our next session, session 2. All right.
Okay, so I think that's all.
Alright.
14 questions for our interview. So I'd like to say thank you,
Thank
Abang,
you so
for
much.
having us.
Thank you
Okay,
so
thanks so
much.
much.
Amin and Rai.
So that's all. So bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Have fun. Take care.